All right, let's jump right in. We're going to tackle a pretty big idea today, a really surprising way to look at the world we all live in. We're going to explore why our modern age, which almost everyone calls the most faithless time in history, might actually be the complete opposite.
I mean, this is what we all hear, right? It's kind of the default assumption. You look around and belief in organized religion or in supernatural stuff like karma or spirits, well, it seems to be at an all-time low. Science and reason, they're supposed to be running the show now.
But what if that's just not the whole story? What if the very thing we think we've lost has just kind of changed its shape? What if it's actually stronger than it's ever been, just hiding in plain sight?
Okay, so let's really dig into this. To get where we're going, we first have to agree on what faith actually is. And to do that, we need to look way beyond the usual suspects like gods and ghosts.
So look at this definition. Faith is believing in something you can't prove with a science experiment. It's holding something to be true even without hard evidence. It's the invisible operating system for our whole society. It's the shared belief that this piece of paper in your wallet has value, or that a judge's decision matters, or that a constitution written hundreds of years ago is still the law of the land. None of those are scientific facts. They're just incredibly powerful ideas we all agree to treat as true, and that agreement, it shapes everything.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. This slide kind of lays out the whole argument. It suggests we didn't just abandon faith. Nope. We just transferred it. Our belief is literally moved from the column on the left, and we've poured all of that energy right into the column on the right, into things like the rule of law and constitutions, the secular, civic structures that run our lives.
And if you want to see just how powerful this modern faith is, we have to look at maybe its most extreme, most mind-bending example, the modern soldier. Their place in our world creates a paradox that, if you look at it through the lens of history, makes almost zero sense.
For pretty much all of human history, the logic was dead simple. The people with the swords made the rules. Might makes right. If you had the army, you had the power. That was it. It wasn't some shocking idea, it was just common sense. A general becoming an emperor wasn't a military coup. It was just the next step on the career ladder.
And this just perfectly illustrates that massive shift. A warrior in the past who made the ultimate sacrifice, well, they secured power, land, and wealth for their family for generations to come. Today, for that exact same sacrifice, a soldier gets a medal, our praise, and a pension for their family. I mean, by any historical measure, that deal has gotten a lot worse.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Why would anyone agree to these terms? Why doesn't the group with all the weapons just take over, like they always used to? The thing that stops them isn't a piece of paper or a law. It's faith.
And this gets to the absolute core of it all, because this faith, it isn't just for soldiers out on some battlefield. It's a belief system that you and I live out every single day, most of the time without even thinking about it. And it's this shared trust that creates what you could honestly call the modern miracle. This is it. This is the central belief. The idea that people who have never held a weapon should command those who do. I mean, historically, that's an absurd, almost laughable idea. And yet today, it is the absolute bedrock of almost every stable nation on the planet. The soldier believes in this, sure, but so do we. The entire system only holds together because pretty much everyone, from the five-star general all the way down to the average citizen, accepts this totally nonsensical idea as true. We have faith that this is just the right way to run a society.
And you show this faith all the time. When you vote, you have faith the system will count it properly. When you pay your taxes, you have faith that money is going to be used for the public good. When you stop at a red light at 3 a.m. with no one else around, you are performing an act of faith in a shared system of rules. It is our collective belief that makes any of this work.
So here's the crucial takeaway. Our collective faith in these modern political ideas isn't just a passive opinion. It's a creative force. It's the invisible architecture that actually builds and sustains the stability and structure of the entire modern world.
So let's tie this all together. When you expand your definition of faith to include these powerful civic beliefs, the whole picture of our modern world it completely changes.
The reason we don't see the miracle is because we are living inside of it. We're the ones making it happen, every day. This system wasn't handed down from the heavens. It was built by us, through our shared, collective belief.
So no, this is not a faithless age. Not at all. It's an age of immense, incredibly powerful, and deeply held faith. It's a faith in constitutions, in elections, in civilian authority, and in the radical idea that we can govern ourselves.
When you really look at it this way, you realize we are living in a time of faith more than ever. Our whole world is built on it.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question. If our entire modern world, our safety, our prosperity, our freedom, is a miracle that's built on this shared civic faith, what happens when that faith starts to crack? And just how strong is that foundation today?